deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or probably poor. My name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. You can hear all about me and my best friend Cody Rhodes at AEW Insider.
What's up, peeps? Welcome back. As always, I'm your host, Lee Bentz, and thank you so much for joining us for the YouTube edition of the AEW Insider. Hope you guys are doing good. The holidays are coming up. People are getting excited, what have you. Just had my daughter's birthday. It was a really, really good time. We got an alright show today. I just wanted to get this out. Like I said, I don't want you guys to feel like I'm cheating you on YouTube. I do a podcast. It's supposed to be once a week, but I do it all the time now. When I do a YouTube video, I do it in between, what have you, just because it's easier editing wise. So if you want definitely to scoop the wrestling news, you got to check out the podcast. So remember, on all major podcasting platforms, plus Facebook and YouTube, you can find us under the AEW Insider. And on Twitter, it's the AEW Insider 1 as a number 1. All right, peeps, we'll get to the show real quick. First and foremost, this is the AEW Insider, so I always say we start with them first, unless there is a death in the industry, and unfortunately, yesterday there was. House of Glory wrestler Matt Travis passed away last night. He was only 25 years old. They did not say what yet. Usually when wrestlers are on the road, blah, 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 what have you, a lot of time they're in pain. They get hooked on pain pills. Not saying it was drugs. Could have been a car accident. Could have been a shooter. He's no joke, that dude. But my daughter and I seen him the last 2 years. We go to House of Glory. Their WrestleMania pay-per-view of the year that they put on, their biggest event of the year for them, is called High Intensity. We were there 2 summers ago for High Intensity 7, where we met Sami Callihan, what have you. And we were there last summer for High Intensity 8, when the Young Bucks fought Private Party. Well, Matt Travis was at both of them. And that guy was good, man. He was really, really short, but he didn't let that stop him. He had good moves. He could fight. And he was a good actor in the ring. So it's real, real sad to see a young talent, or a talent period like that, pass away. So Godspeed, Matt Travis. We wish you could have seen more of what you had to offer us, man. All right, we'll get to Full Gear. Last night was Full Gear. I did the results show on the podcast, so if you didn't see it by chance or just want my opinion, definitely check it out. It was awesome. It was really, really fucking awesome. AEW is definitely making sure they're different from WWE, that they're going to be doing stuff different from WWE. They're doing shit WWE doesn't do anymore, wouldn't do, or hasn't done in forever. And they're fucking awesome. Just Tony Khan does need to chill a little bit, because, I mean, he lets these guys have free reign pretty much, which is great, because you want these guys to be in charge of their own destiny, especially writing their promos, their character, what have you. But these guys are really, really pushing the limit, man. There's been a lot of injuries since fucking AEW started. Nothing major so far, but there is. He's just got to, tighten the leash a little bit before somebody gets hurt. But I'm not complaining. I fucking love it. Like I said, I did the whole recap, the results on the podcast, so I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to touch on some highlights from the show. The awesome duo of Brandi and Awesome Kong made their debut last night. I told you last week they did the little video that they be together, and boy, are they. They made a fucking impact. After the Dr. Britt Baker and B. Priestley match was over, B. Priestley was still in the ring all beat up because she lost. Out of nowhere, the lights went off, music started playing, and there was Brandi with her new gimmick with Awesome Kong. They made their way to the ring. Awesome Kong gave B. Priestley a spinning back fist, knocked her out. Then Brandi Rhodes pulls some cloth out, and inside the cloth there is a legit fucking knife. It kind of looks like the knife that Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy would use, just smaller. It's curved like that. It was fucking crazy. So Awesome Kong acts like she's gonna fucking cut up B. Priestley. Of course, Brandi stops her. At the end, Brandi gets her down on the ground, and she holds a handful of her hair. She gives the knife back to Awesome Kong, and Awesome Kong cut a big chunk of B. Priestley's hair off, and then was standing there smelling it. So I don't know what's going on with these wrestlers anymore. Over a month ago, I reported in New Japan that Jushin Thunder Liger pulled out a fucking legit knife in the middle of his match too. So shit's going crazy in wrestling. During the Cody versus Le Champion match, Cody went to dive through the ropes, and he legit hit his head on the ramp. At Full Gear, like I said, they were going to have a new set, and it was awesome. They had the ramp that led all the way to the ring. So it's not like you walked down a ramp that had to climb into the ring. It was level with the ring. You just walked in a ramp right into the ring. When Jericho was on a ramp, Cody went to dive out, and he literally couldn't put his hands in front of his face. Boom, fucking smacked his head, started bleeding all over. It was insane. So after that, Jericho was pretty much beating the shit out of him, and Jericho was bending his body fucked up. Like, it looked like Cody was going to snap in half. If you ever seen Freddy vs. Jason, like I said on a podcast, when he takes that kid in the fucking bed and he bends him in half, Cody was bent up like that. It was nuts. So his best friend forever, MJF, threw the towel in. And then after the match, Cody was pissed, of course, because he feels he wasn't going to tap out. He can't challenge for the AEW title again because he lost, what have you. MJF was just on his knees, pleading with him. After that, MJF got up. Cody fucking tapped him on the shoulder, let him know it was all right. And my boy MJF proceeded to kick him right in the fucking balls. It was glorious. I've been waiting for MJF to turn on Cody forever now. MJF is the best fucking heel in the game right now. I don't care what you say, who you compare him to. There's no better bad guy right now in the game. He can't be fucking with these good guys and with Cody and all that bullshit. He's got to be on his own. Now, everybody thinks he's going to join the inner circle, but trust me, MJF is just, he's so awesome on his own, he doesn't need that fucking click. He's going to be huge, which he already is. So it was fucked up, man. When MJF made his way up the ramp, a fan literally fucking threw a soda all over him and then threw the cup and hit him with it. It was crazy. People loved it, but it's fucked up to see, and you shouldn't do that to the talent, for real. They also had the Moxley versus Omega match, which was fucking insane. These guys went all fucking out. I mean, like extreme, glass, barbed wire this, barbed wire that. They had a legit huge board full of real mousetraps that they were throwing each other on and shit. It was fucking great. And like I said, it's great that Tony Khan lets them do that, but after watching last night, I think he needs to cool them down just a little bit, because these guys are going to fucking hurt themselves. Definitely was the best pay-per-view all year that AEW's done, and it's better than any pay-per-view WWE's put out in years, besides NXT, of course. All right, now at one point, Kenny Omega had a fucking ice pick like Fatal Instinct and shit. He wanted to fucking jab up fucking Moxley like they were in the state penitentiary or some bullshit. But he went after him. He was all cutting him in the head with it and poking him in the forehead and shit and in the side of the head. And the Elite came out. It was the Young Bucks and Heyman Page, and they were trying to talk him out of it. Like, yo, man, you got to kill. You're going to kill this fucking. You got to chill. You're going to kill this fucking guy. Omega assured him that everything was okay. He told them to bring something out. Yo, these guys pushed out a fucking bed of barbed wire. Imagine like two queen or two king, bed frames sorted together. It had the fucking wire under it for support, but the whole thing was just covered in legit barbed wire. So they put it right up next to the ramp. Moxley and Omega kept reversing each other. In the end, Moxley got the upper hand, and he gave fucking the paradigm shift, whatever the fuck it is, to Omega, and they landed on the barbed wire. So even though he got the upper hand, he was hurt just as much as Omega. And it took him a little bit, like, for people to actually help come pull them out and all that, so they didn't get cut and bleed to fucking death. But you could see their backs were cut open, man. It was fucking some of the most insane shit I've seen in years. Also in the match, they did have broken glass. They were fucking, Kenny Omega was dragging Moxley across it on his back. He was rubbing it in his face. He fucking put it in his mouth. So of course it wasn't glass. It was probably like rock candy, but still. And then, like I said, they had a new set. So there was like this big triangle stand. And in the middle of it was a big circular graphic that said Full Gear, the name of the pay-per-view. Fucking Moxley went to give fucking Omega a move through it. Omega reversed it. He gave him a fucking V trigger, his running knee, and they both went through the fucking side. I'm telling you, yo, it was crazy. So I'm telling you, you gotta fucking see fucking Full Gear. If you didn't see it, it's the best pay-per-view of the year of any promotion. And like I said, it's better than anything WWE's done in fucking eons. And at the end of it all, not one AEW title was exchanged. And not only that, if you listen to my prediction show, I literally predicted every match right. That's right, baby. I'm the man. All right, after the show, Jericho spoke to the media and was asked about his win, MJF, and more. Here's what Le Champion had to say. About the towel being thrown in. He was going to give up anyway. That's a pretty stupid question. Of course I'm satisfied. He said, well, I'm satisfied with the victory. I'm still the Le Champion. I don't want this to be stuck on the fact that MJF threw a towel in the ring, because you saw what happened. Cody was beat up, bleeding all over the fucking place. Plus, he was so tired. He was tied up like a pretzel. There was no escape. So throw the towel in, don't throw the towel in, but don't diminish the victory that Chris Jericho had over Cody Rhodes last night. I agree with him 120% on that. Then they asked him about MJF joining the Inner Circle. There's always room for more as long as they're good as all the guys in my inner circle. MJF would be a probable candidate. A possible candidate whether the events happen tonight or not. We're always looking for members because, like I said, we're taking control of AEW. It was Le Champion's birthday last night, and what a great night he had. After the pay-per-view, he did announce that himself and Sammy Guevara would be facing the SCU for their tag team titles this Wednesday on AEW Dynamite, so that's going to be a good match. They asked Le Champion about female members joining the Inner Circle. This is what he had to say. Well, I mean, there's a lot of great ones. You see Nyla Rose, she just beat the crap out of everybody. I love Jamie Hayter. We've seen her last week for the first and second time. I think she's tremendous. There's quite a few. Bea Priestley's a little bit vicious, what have you. Becoming a member doesn't just happen organically. That's how we started this group. It was my vision to bring in 5 killers. You got the street thug ruffians, Santana and Ortiz. If there's a woman out there who's just as dirty as them, then they're in. Or they have to be as sexy as Sammy Guevara, even though that's not possible. Or as tough as Jack Hager, and a genius like Le Champion. If so, we'll bring them in. It has been revealed that Jimmy Havoc and announcer Excalibur got into a fight. I covered this on my show, but in case you don't know, this is what happened. They were all out at dinner. They were celebrating Tony Schiavone's birthday party. I don't know what happened, but fucking the announcer Excalibur and Jimmy Havoc got into an exchange of words. Jimmy Havoc was fucking wasted, like pissy drunk. He swung at Excalibur, who proceeded to fucking choke out Jimmy Havoc right in front of their boss, Tony Khan, until security separated them. They were moved outside, and Havoc threw his cell phone at Excalibur, which he totally missed, and then security broke it up again. That's insane to be pulling that shit in front of your boss a couple of fucking months into the promotions like TV schedule pay-per-view. Talking about Tony Khan, the boss, they asked him a bunch of questions after the show. The main one was that when they showed the AEW production truck where it gets filmed at, you know what I mean, like edited at, where they tell people to look at what camera, this and that, where the show is put together for us watching at home and where it broadcasts from. It's from a big production truck. Well, they showed it in there yesterday, and one of the channels was actually on USA. USA is their competition, NXT. So they figured that AEW is watching NXT all scared or watching them like a hog, you know what I mean, to see what they're doing, how to compare and what have you. This is what Tony Khan had to say about it. Yeah, that's not my position. I don't know what they're watching in the truck. I'm stuck at the gorilla position. We don't have a TV that would even have cable on it. We have the feed of our show. And then I have like 8 or 10 cameras we like to choose from, he stated. So yeah, I don't know what they could be watching. I think sometimes they have a little like, football on and off between stuff that's going on during the day. But during the show, I don't know what they're watching. He said he only goes out to the truck once a day when they are filming, and that's very, very, very early in the day. He said, I never seen a monitor on when I'm there. He said, I can't speak, about the truck, what they're doing in there. Even though it's my company, yada, yada, I'm not in there. And there were some other subjects they asked him about, so I'll just do, some cliff notes. Tony Khan let everybody know that Joey Janela was going to be okay, and he'll be at AEW Dynamite. He said Khan loved the idea of having Dean Malenko and Chris Jericho's old feud played out during the title match. And that is amazing too, because they used to fight. Jericho wanted his belt, and Dean Malenko was like the man of 1,000 holds. So Jericho named himself like the man of 1,001 holds. And he used to come out every time before a match and just name all the moves he could do. It was fucking hilarious. So that was a really good callback. Khan says he doesn't think Omega or Jon Moxley did anything truly that put them in danger. That's his thought process. He wanted Bea Priestley versus Britt Baker to be on the pay-per-view. He had a lot to say in that story. Khan says that the stipulation with Cody not challenging for the AEW title stands. AEW All Out will be in Chicago. Double or Nothing will happen in Vegas at the MGM Grand. He says he's happy with the numbers for AEW Dynamite, and they're better than he hopes. He says that the Pittsburgh episode is his favorite wrestling TV episode ever. He feels like they got a good buzz in the United Kingdom. Khan wants to go to Canada, London, and other UK cities. They don't have exact dates for 2020 yet, but they will be going there. Bellator reached out to him and says they're nice guys, but he says they're nice guys, but he hasn't had a lot of a conversation with them yet. The Rock and Roll Express spot was completely the Young Bucks' idea. He said that AEW Dynamite is doing really well with the advertisers. Tully Blanchard will continue to be seen and get promo time. I like that. I really, really like what they're doing with Sean Spears. He's fucking awesome. And with Tully Blanchard, that's the shit. And finally, Khan thinks that it is reasonable that light out matches would happen whenever the moment calls for it. So, I mean, like, you have to actually watch AEW to get that, but I'm not going to go over everything, yada, yada. That's why I gave you the Cliff Notes. And same thing up right here with with Hangman Page. Hangman Page spoke to the media also. Here are some things that I found it interesting that he talked about. Sammy Guevara busted Hangman Page's eardrum, and he can't hear really well out of it. He says it's weird being in the elite, and him being in it, it's a tall task. He thinks he hasn't filled those shoes this year. And that's true. He really, really hasn't been fucking a real tight member of the elite. That's good he calls himself on that. Page wants a rubber match with Pac and said he wants it Wednesday in Nashville at Dynamite. If you listen to my podcast, I'm not down with that at all. I want them to fucking end that feud already, man. It's been going on since fucking January. Enough's enough. Hangman 2-1 Pac, it's over. He didn't even know about the bar wire trap I told you they brought out for Omega and Moxley until halfway through the show. It takes time to get over the passing of a horse, he said. He bonded with Chuck Taylor over it. If you've been watching Being the Elite and all that, his horse did die. He isn't sure when the next pay-per-view is, but he wants to call it Cowboy Shit. That's his new logo. He's got it on a t-shirt, and last night the audience was fucking screaming Cowboy Shit. He said the editing process of Being the Elite is tough for Nick, but he says the people love it. I just started clicking, and he can't pinpoint why it's successful, but people could tell when you're putting effort into something. He loves the WWE kidnapping storyline on Being the Elite. Pete said he got a stinger in his neck, and he doesn't seem to be too severe. Sorry, so just throwing it out there for you guys. Some info for true fans. Like, if I hear that shit, I like it because I know what it means. If not, you need to fucking brush up on your AEW. On to some WWE news. Renee Young took to Twitter last night while she was watching her real-life husband, Jon Moxley, fight against Kenny Omega. She was tweeting stuff like, "Hello, I hate this, and what the fuck?" Then she was going to go watch a Christmas movie, she said, to wash the fucking nastiness off her palate. She was really upset, man. It's got to be crazy watching your loved one go through a match like that. It is fucking nuts, for real. Corey Graves gave his opinions about the rumors that Vince left everybody in Saudi Arabia and ran home on his jet. This is what he had to say. What really got to me is when the rumors started coming out. The first one being Mr. McMahon, that Vince left everybody in Saudi Arabia. That's not true, and I'm going to tell you why. If you work here, you know that every week, no matter where on the planet we are, as soon as the final bell rings, as soon as it's made sure that all the talent is okay, who's ever in the last match, Vince gets on his jet and he goes. He goes home or he goes to the next city because he's busy running WWE. So it might be a little sexy headline, oh, Vince left everybody, and everybody was stuck except for Vince and Brock and whoever else had the private jets chartered. When you're Brock Lesnar, you get certain perks. When you're Tyson Fury and you're the biggest star on earth, you get your own jet. When you're Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, you've earned that, okay? So it wasn't like he said, to hell with the talent, to hell with the crew. Vince did exactly as he's done every week without failure. I've been lucky enough to be on that jet with him sometimes. That's how business is done. It wasn't I got to get the hell out of this country. There's something crazy going on. It was exactly how it works. So I hate to break it to you guys. I hate to put a damper on your party, but that's how things operate every week, and this was no different. All right, New Japan. And what I think was a big move, New Japan actually did a show. It was in California, I think, or Florida. Pardon me, I think it was Cali. But they actually gave fans permission to record the event. My daughter and I go to a lot of events, and it's always you can take pictures, but you can't film anything, no flashes, yada, yada, no filming. But AEW Dynamite was cool. We went to go see it in Philadelphia, and I legit sat in my seat with my gimbal out, and I recorded the whole fucking show, zooming in and out, moving left and right, all that, and nobody bothered me at all. So New Japan told them that they could do it. They said, you can use the camera for taping, but if so, just don't do it at the start and the end of the matches because of the music copyrights. Because they know if you put it on YouTube and that music's playing, the video is going to get taken down and nobody is going to get to see it. They asked that no clips that you post are longer than 30 seconds, and to please use their hashtags when you do post their videos. So I thought that was very, very fucking cool of them, and I hope others follow suit. All right, Major League Wrestling news. They had a great TV taping, and of course, spoilers came out. It happened last night. But the real cool thing that happened is that Myron Reed defeated Teddy Hart for the MLJ World Middleweight title. Like I said, Hart was seen backstage at last week's episode of NXT, and I hope that they sign him and Brian Pillman's son, Brian Pillman Jr. But Teddy Hart is a huge talent. When he was younger, he was a little crazy. Drugs got in the way. That's why nobody ever gave him a major contract. But he's earned his fucking way back and proved it and worked his ass off. So I hope he gets a big-time money shot with one of these companies because he deserves it to finish out his life with money he deserves for what he could do in the ring. All right, and a little bit of MMA news. Melissa Cervantes, a.k.a. Thunder Rosa, made her debut in an MMA match last night, but she did lose by unanimous decision. It sucks for her, but I give her props, man. Anybody has the balls to get in that fucking ring, especially in a sport that you're usually not in, yada yada, or you know what I mean, just a fucking different sport in a different country or a different league, it just takes a lot of balls. So, hey, congratulations, girl, even on your loss. All right, Pete, I just wanted to put this show together for you. Like I said, I had a lot more news on fucking Wednesday or Thursday's podcast, yada yada, but I hope you guys appreciate it. I will have a Movies and More episode in a couple of days. I'm still working on the top 10 movies to watch in Christmas and the top 10 horror movies to watch in Christmas. It's going to take a couple months because I have to do it in between, but I've got my favorite all-time 30 wrestlers coming up, plus a ton more. Definitely check out the YouTube channel. Tons of videos up there, man. A lot of views. We got wrestling, movies, news, gossip, whatever the fuck you want, for real. So remember to show us some love on all podcasting platforms, YouTube and Facebook under the AEW Insider, and on Twitter under the AEW Insider 1 as a number 1. All right, peeps, I'm rambling on, so I'm going to hit the road. As always, I'm your host, Lee Benson. Thank you so much for joining us and showing your support for the AEW Insider. Ciao, peeps.